that just fell off. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about traveling by car. So road tripping. And yes, this onesie has nothing to do with this. It's my birthday month and I was feeling very fierce. So I put on a lion onesie. Anywho, so let's talk about road trips, tips, tricks, hacks. So let's get started. I feel like a lot of my focus usually is on traveling by air, by plane. Obviously, that's the only mode of transportation by air unless you're going by a rocket. Anywho, I feel like a lot of my focus is on that, and the truth is that's not the only way to travel. And that's not the only way I travel. I take a lot of different road trips. Shaw and I have taken so many road trips in this past year. We've done cross-country across the US, we've gone to Yellowstone, we've road tripped in Alaska. We've just done a bunch of amazing road trips. So I was like, why not share those tips, those tricks, those hacks with you, because the truth is road tripping is a lot more difficult than flying by plane, because you're not the one flying the plane, but you are the one driving the car. So first and foremost, when you are trying to do a road trip, you have to figure out whether you want to get a rental car or take your own car. There's great things about both. There's pros and cons about both. Obviously, the pro about taking your own car is that you don't have to pay for a rental, but then you have to get all the maintenance done on it, and you need to make sure you do that. Fill up your tires, get your oil change done, whatever other maintenance stuff there is out there. I don't know. Shaw does it all, and before that, my mother did it. Not very independent, am I? Anywho, so you have to figure that out, whether you want to take a rental car and not put miles on your own car, but end up paying like $40 a day and then end up paying for those extra miles, or you would rather take your own car. Also, a little tip when you are booking a rental car, make sure to get a rental that has unlimited miles on it, because the last thing you want to do is end up getting stuck. Like, sometimes some rental cars only allow like 200 miles a day or something, and then you end up getting stuck, or 100 miles a day or 50 miles a day, and then you have to pay for that extra mile every day, and that adds up quite a bit. So make sure you're aware of those things. Car registration and insurance. You should not be road tripping without those things. Actually, you shouldn't be going anywhere without your car insurance. But when you are road tripping, I believe if you're in a different state and a cop stops you, sometimes they do ask you for your registration. It has happened to us, especially if you are obviously going across the border and going to a different country. If you're going from the US to Canada, you have to show your car registration. We've had to show it. So just make sure you do have your car registration and your insurance on you. It's safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. Always have a spare tire on you. Honestly, flat tires happen. Your tire busts, it rips, whatever else happens to tires. Things happen, bad things happen. It's better to be prepared, so always have a spare tire with you. First aid kit. It's always good to have a first aid kit on you, even on a day-to-day basis. I always have a little first aid kit in my car, but especially when you're road tripping, things happen. You know, if you're me and you're super clumsy, you're like cutting an apple in the car. Yes, I do that sometimes. And now suddenly, you know, you have like blood gushing out of your finger and stuff. So it's just great to have a first aid kit on you. Keep it on you. Great, good, great, good, great, it's good, okay, it's good. Don't forget your cameras while you're on a road trip, because not only do you want to just have it out when you're at your final destination, sometimes it's just, I always like to keep my camera like in the front with me, because sometimes you come across really neat things, especially when you're driving to places and everything. You see some beautiful sights, so it's just great to have a camera on you so you can document all your memories, whether it's your phone, whether it's your Canon, your DSLR, your mirrorless, whatever camera you have. It's great to have it on you. And yeah, keep a pair of spare keys in your purse. How many times have you guys locked your keys in your car? I know I have plenty of times. So especially when you're on a road trip, especially when you're like, you know, 1,000 miles away from home, you do not want to get stuck in the middle of nowhere and have to call a tow truck and all the other stuff, or like a key opener guy, whatever they're called. Anywho, you don't want to be stuck in the middle of nowhere. Always carry a pair of spare keys and put them in your purse. So if you were to lock your keys in your car, hopefully you have your purse on you, and hopefully you have those spare keys. Trash bags. Always have a few trash bags in the car. The whole point of road tripping, especially when you are doing like a cross-country road trip or something, you know, you're in the car for days on end. And yes, you do stop at hotels, but you're pretty much driving most of the time. So it's just great to have trash bags so you don't like throw all your snack trash everywhere and it just doesn't get messy and smelly, and it's just good. It's good to get those Febreze trash bags. That way you can stay clean and you're good to go. Snacks and cooked meals. Obviously, there's no road trip without snacks. I love taking my snacks, snacks. I love taking snacks too, but snacks, veggie chips, sunflower seeds, anything to keep me busy, keep me eating. That makes the hours go by a lot faster, so I love carrying snacks. And I actually love taking cooked meals. So I prep little meals and I put them in little containers. And you know, if we don't have time to stop somewhere for lunch, or even if we do, we stop in a parking lot. Sometimes we don't want fast food or want to stop at a restaurant. We just have little cooked meals. So I take like dirty rice, shrimp chow mein, and noodles or pasta or whatever, something that's easy to eat, quick to eat, and you still feel like you're kind of at home, especially like day 5 into your road trip when you've been driving for hours on end every day. You want to have those cooked meals, and I love taking cooked meals with me. Also, actually, didn't just talk about snacks? I already talked about snacks. Snacks and cooked meals. Yes, we're good to go. Next clip. Disposable. So disposable plates, cups, utensils. Obviously, you don't want to take like silverware with you. So it's just great to have disposable plates and stuff. Sometimes, like I said, I like to cut an apple in the car, or like, you know, just put chips in a little, instead of eating it out of like large bag, I put them in a plate. Or when we're having our cooked meals and stuff, we just put it in our plate. We have our utensils, we eat them. We did this quite a bit when we were driving from Houston, Texas, all the way to Canada. It was quite a few days of driving on end, so it was great to have our meals, it was great to have our utensils, and that's where the trash bags come in. You take your utensils, you throw them in the trash, everything's clean, everything's good, and you're good to keep going. Cash, and especially change. Some toll roads, obviously I had toll tags living in Texas, and I had, I think, a toll tag for all of Texas, but that doesn't count for other states. So when you are taking toll roads and everything, you want to have that change on you. You don't want to get stuck on a toll road. And even if you think to yourself, okay, I'm not going to take any tollways, what if you end up on one? You always want to have spare change on you, and it's just great to have cash, right? In general, it's great to have a few $100s in cash, especially when you're road tripping, and even when you're traveling anywhere. Always have a few $100s of cash. Keep an eye on your gas tank. So I'm from Houston, obviously, and like, you know, I've always lived in bigger cities where there's gas stations at every stoplight, so I've never had to worry. But you always, you know, for me, it's like, okay, I have 20 miles left in my car, all right, I'll just stop at the next gas station and fill up. When you're road tripping, even if you have 100 miles left on your car and you see a gas station, fill up. And this is where you guys get to hear my interesting, not so interesting story. So story time, let's get started. Alright, so Shaw and I had just gotten back from our honeymoon. We flew into Houston and we were gonna road trip from Houston all the way to Canada. We were doing like a cross-country road trip. It was great, it was amazing. And we were like kind of up north in Texas, like in the middle of nowhere, and we saw that we had about 100 miles left on our car. We were like, all right, great, perfect, you know, let's stop at a gas station. We stopped at a gas station, we went in, used the bathroom, grabbed some snacks, got back in the car, and started driving again. We forgot to fill gas, guys. We stopped there to fill gas. Anywho, we were like, crap, well, let's turn around and go back. Except there was construction going on and you couldn't turn around and go back, like not for miles and miles and miles. Like the security officer guy, I think they're called security officers, yeah, we asked him and he's like, no, you can't go back, there's no way to turn around. We're like, all right, well fine, we'll stop at the next gas station. We started driving and we drove, and there wasn't another gas station for 164 miles. We had 100 miles left on our car. We didn't realize that until we were like 20 miles, no, not even 20, like 50, 60 miles into our trip. We were like, crap, well, where's the next gas station? Anywho, we hit 0 miles on our car. We were freaking out. We kept driving. We've been driving on 0 miles for about 20, 25, 30 miles now. I don't know how our car kept going. Finally, we found that gas station. We found another gas station. We stopped there. They were out of gas. We were like, crap. We were like, our car's not gonna start again. But it did. Anywho, we got to the next gas station. We found another gas station. We stopped there. They were closed. And we have been on 0 miles for quite some time. I have no idea how the car was running. I was saying all the prayers in the world. And then we came by this abandoned ranch and we stopped there. We didn't realize it was abandoned. We knocked on their doors. We needed some help. Our car was on 0. It had already turned off. It wasn't gonna turn back on. Shaw told me to sit in the car, lock the doors. Well, no, first we went ahead and we both knocked on doors. Nobody was there. We realized it was an abandoned ranch. Shaw told me to sit in the car, lock the doors, and he siphoned gas out of a tractor. I don't know if that's illegal or not. in that situation, honestly, we had no other choice. The sun was about to go down. It was about to get really dark. We were literally in like country, like country town, like, and there was like nothing for like miles on end, just acres and acres of land. Shaw siphoned gas. I think like after like half an hour, 45 minutes, I think he learned it from like Game of Thrones or something, one of the shows on how to siphon gas. I don't know what show he learned it from, to be honest. It was some TV show. And we used a little Nestle bottle, and he filled like half the bottle and he siphoned it with his mouth. I guess that's how you're supposed to siphon gas. We got enough gas in our car to go to the next gas station. We made it to the next gas station. We filled up. It was one of the most terrifying experiences of our life. And we still had about 8 hours more to drive before we got to the city where we were trying to get to, where we could stop. We had a hotel booked, and Shaw couldn't drive anymore. At this point, he was dizzy. We had to stop because he was throwing up. The siphoning, like the fumes in the gas had just made him extremely sick. It was a horrible, horrible situation, a horrible experience to be in. We were sure we were gonna get shot by someone. We were like sure, we were like, all right, this is how we die. Like, this is how our world ends. Anywho, we were like, we just got married. So yes, you do not want to be stuck in that situation. It's a terrible situation. And then another time, we were driving from Edmonton to Calgary. We were moving, and we were in a U-Haul truck, and we were supposed to stop at a gas station. We stopped there, it was closed. Stopped at the next one, it was closed. Stopped at the third one, it was closed. At this point, our car is on empty, our U-Haul is on empty, and we're like, crap. And we just prayed and prayed and prayed that it would go 20 more miles. It did. We stopped at the fourth one. They had gas, they were open. It was the sketchiest gas station ever, but we had no choice. So trust me, this has happened to me so many times, so many times. It's a terrible place to be in. Make sure you always check for gas, even if you're 3/4 of the way full. If you see a gas station, fill up. And that's my story. By the way, guys, it was The Walking Dead. They all seem like the same show to me because I don't watch any of those shows because they're too scary for me, but it was The Walking Dead. Pillows and blankets. I always have pillows and blankets in the car with me while road tripping, especially because sometimes it gets really cold and really chilly and you just want to have a blanket on you, feel more comfortable. A pillow while you're sitting in the front seat, it's just nice to have, it's comfortable to have. And if you are driving in the snow, if you are driving in wintertime and it's just really cold and your car stops and now you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, it's great to have blankets on you just so you can keep warm until the tow truck comes. So I always have comfortable pillows and comfortable blankets with me. Dress comfortably. Wear a onesie if you want. Wear sweats, a t-shirt. Don't wear uncomfortable clothes when you are on road trips because you are in and out of the car quite a bit. If you're me, especially, you have to pee a lot. We always have to stop at gas stations. And even besides that, right? You're stuck in the car for hours and hours and hours. You want to wear something that's comfortable, but you don't want to be like stuck in like hoodies. At least layer, right? Like wear like a t-shirt and then wear like a jacket so you can take it off. Just be comfortable. Whatever's comfortable for you. Heck, if 6-inch heels and super tight jeans and a crop top is comfortable for you, go for it. Just wear comfortable clothes. Always keep a case of water with you. I take a lot of water with me while I'm on road trips. Yes, you can stop at gas stations and get bottles of water, but why do that when you can have a case of water with you? That way, whenever you need water, you have it. And sometimes, there aren't gas stations for miles and miles. If you're thirsty, you have your case of water. It's just good to have. Have your case of water. Have a case of water. Drink water. It's good for you. I know what you guys are thinking. What if my water isn't cold? What if it's too hot? Well, then have an icebox. Have an icebox with you. Put ice in there. Put water in there. Now you have cold water. If you like warm water, leave it out. Now you have warm water. It's easy. Instead of paying $4 at every gas station to drink water, you want to have your icebox. You want to have your water. Life is really easy, honestly. And if your ice melts, well, that's just sad. Battery packs and car chargers. Always have chargers on you. You can never have too many chargers. Well, you can, but you know what I mean. Always have a car charger. Always have your battery packs. You want to make sure your phones are always on charge because unless you're like a super genius that can like navigate from like one end of the country to the other without using a GPS, you will need your phone, which means you will need chargers. So it's good to have chargers. Have them on you. Car chargers, battery packs, great stuff. Next clip. Kleenexes and wipes. Don't be the savage that like wipes your hands on your clothes. I don't like people like that. Don't do that. Okay? Just have wipes and Kleenexes on you. Once you eat, you can just wipe your hands. If you spill something on yourself, you can wipe it. If you just need to like wipe your hands after wiping your hands because they're wet with wipes, you can Kleenex them. It's easy, it's comfortable. Kleenex and wipes. Honestly, go to the dollar store. They're so cheap. They're so great. Sometimes you're driving for hours and hours and hours and you're eating a lot of snacks and a lot of foods and then you have terrible breath. And you know, the person next to you in the car, they really don't want to smell your bad breath. So always have gums and mints on you. It's great, and they keep you going. They give you energy. They give me energy. It's just good to have. Sometimes I feel like I'm eating way too much, and I'm like, well, I still need to keep my mouth running. So either I'm going to be talking or eating a gum or a mint, and sometimes Charlotte's like, shut up, like stop talking. So then I just have to eat a gum and a mint. So it's great. It stops you from talking. It refreshes your mouth. It freshens up your mouth. It prevents you from taking in quite a bit of calories. It's great. It's the best of all worlds. Make your music playlist, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on Pandora, whether it's in your Apple Music, whatever you're using, always have a downloaded music playlist. Road trips are long, and there's so many road trip games you can play, and there's so much you can talk to the other person about, especially if you've been married to them for 40 years, which sometimes I feel like I've been married for 40 years. Anywho, no, but seriously, it's great to have your playlist downloaded so you don't have to listen to music online because, you know, you don't always have service in the middle of nowhere. So have your playlist ready. Download your destination maps. Like I said, you don't have service everywhere. Like, you just don't. Sometimes you're in areas where the cell towers are just terrible. You don't have service. So what we do in Google Maps, there is an option to download your map from the destination you're leaving from to the destination you're getting to. So just download your maps. That's why it's easier, it's convenient, and you're just like not stuck trying to look for service, trying to figure out where to go next. It's easy, it's convenient. And that's all I have to say for today. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching my road trips tips, tricks, hacks. I know some of them may have seemed very obvious and some not so much. Make sure you have a checklist, make sure you do these things before going on a road trip. It's better to be safe than sorry. And yeah, I was actually supposed to film a different video today, but let's just say my packages didn't arrive at the time that they were supposed to arrive. So anywho, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in a few days. Bye!